Hey traders, welcome back. Today is Thursday, November the 24th. It's Thanksgiving here in the United States, and I just had a quick second here and wanted to put a little video together about one of our members in our trading room that has done, I think, everything correctly, meaning he and I have spent a lot of time together. He has taken advantage of the opportunity to have one-on-one training sessions with me. And we have gone through all of the trading strategies. There's about 24 different disparate trading strategies that we employ in our trading room each week. We take on average about 30 official trades each and every week in our trading room. And if you add adjustments in there, it's probably closer to 50 total trades that we take. Well, one of the things that we talk a lot about, the question is always, what's the best trade? You know, I don't want to do 50 trades a week, or I don't want to learn 20 different strategies. What is the very best trade? And of course, that answer varies from person to person, and it has to do with several things, I think. Number one is your risk-reward profile. But your risk profile, what you're comfortable with, is a big determining factor in what trade is appropriate or not appropriate, or what is the best trade for you. We have a lot of members in our live trading room that all they do is our 0 DTE trades every single day. We do those Monday through Friday. And they don't touch any of the other 24 trades that we do. We have members that would never on their worst day ever touch a 0 DTE trade. The risk reward ratio is just doesn't make sense to them. But they are doing, 30 other trades inside of our trading room every week. So your risk profile is a big part of determining what is the quote unquote best trade for you. Your propensity to have screen time. No matter how much you love a 0 DTE, if you are working a 70-hour day job that keeps you away from computer access, it's not the right trade for you. This is a trade that you got to be able to stare at all day long. So you got to be in front of a computer. So your ability, your desire, or your propensity to be able to sit in front of a screen all day long, or to what degree you can or can't do that, that's going to determine a lot of what is the best trade. We have a lot of trades that we put on that if you checked in on them once every 3 or 4 days and just looked at it, that would be sufficient to manage that trade. So, that's going to determine a lot of where you're at with your trade. The amount of trading capital that you have. I hate to say it, but trading is very discriminatory. And if you got $1 million, you're going to be in an easier situation than if you got $10,000. So it doesn't matter. Everybody asks what is the best amount of money to start trading with, and I always say the answer is the same for everybody. It's what you got. Whether you got 1,000 or 1,000,000, that's what you start with, and we build a system around that. There are trading systems. We trade a pairs setup that is appropriate from a risk standpoint and a capital standpoint that you could start with $200. If you have $200, you can start investing, right? And there are completely different strategies if you're into portfolio margin levels and above. So that is a big factor. And then last but certainly not least is your education, your knowledge base. Depending on where you're at knowledge-wise, certain trades may or may not be appropriate for you. So we try to take these 24 different trading strategies, that we have in the trading room, these 30 to 50 trades that we do each week, and we try to customize those to your individual situation. And so we always like to say, it's a little tongue-in-cheek, but we like to say that this is the best trading room on the internet, as far as we know. And even though it is a little bit tongue-in-cheek, we really kind of believe it. And the reason for that is because this is a trading room that is built by traders for traders. If our members are looking to change something, improve something, alter something, add or subtract something from our trading room, they're the ones that decide how this trading room is molded and shaped and morphs as time goes by. And we continue to do that. We continue to alter the shape of our trading room based on the input from our members. So really, it has to be the best trading room in the world, because if it's not giving us what we wanted, well, that's our own fault. We're the ones that designed it. But we do say that a little bit tongue-in-cheek, but I wanted to show you, I think, maybe the power of that concept of that personalization that we can potentially bring to the table here. And just again, while we have, over 24 different unique strategies that we employ on a weekly basis here in the trading room, I wanted to take an example of one of our trading members that he has defined out of, again, these 30 to 50 trades a week that we do. He's refined it down to just two. There's just two trades that he does, and it takes him about 5 minutes a night to put this trade on, one component of this trade. The other part, he puts it on a Monday, and he looks at it 2 or 3 times during the week. That's it. That's it. So he has very, very minimal input. He's not day trading. He's not staring at his screen all day long. He's not doing 30 to 50 trades. He's focusing on 2 of our unique strategies. And what we're looking at here is his numbers and the potential to potentially say, could you turn $15,000 of capital into $1 million in 5 short years? Is that possible? Are there strategies that really give you a decent shot at that? Now, we know conceptually that you can turn 15,000 into $1 million. Conceptually, I guess you could turn 15,000 into $1 billion, but we want to get down to the brass tacks of what is the actual potential of this. Is it sort of a pipe dream, or is it something that you could maybe really actually bank on and work towards? And so here are his numbers, and this is again what we wanted to focus on in this particular video. It's really the concept or the idea of the power of low returns. So many trading videos focus on, oh, we made 10 grand today. We turned $1,000. A lot of YouTube videos are, watch how I turned this $1,000 into $10,000 today buying options. And to the informed, of course, we understand that that's a gamble and that that's a risky trade and that there's no consistency in that type of trading. But boy, it's sure appealing to the uninitiated. So I want to show you a couple of strategies from our model portfolio that he is using that are purposely designed. They are purposely designed to capture low rates of return. We are taking a trade, we are building a trade, and we are saying, those rates of return are too high. How can we potentially lower them more? Okay, because we understand that the lower a return that we are willing to accept, the higher the consistency of the results should be. That wasn't very good English, but you get my point, right? The lower the return that we are willing to accept, the higher the consistency of those results is what we should see as the end of the day, and we look at where we're at. So this is what allows for daily compounding, and it is the compounding effect of these trades. It is the compounding effect. So with a sample trade like an iron condor that so many people love but has a horrible risk-reward ratio, where you could put up 10,000, bring in $1,000 in one day. That's real. That's true. It's very, very possible to do that on a 0 DTE, but you're also risking probably 8,000 of the 10,000. And so you see your P&L over time do this. And the P&L may be going up. You may be making money, but it's in fits and starts. And so there's no compounding effect taking place. And it is not the rate of return that gets you wealthy. It is the consistency of the compounding effect of that rate of return. Albert Einstein, of course, said that compounding is the 8th wonder of the world and mankind's greatest invention. This idea that you can earn interest on interest upon interest, this compounding effect. So we're going to look at an example here of his situation and see if $15,000 could be enough to generate $1 million in a 5-year period of time. So there's a couple of trades, as I mentioned, out of the several dozen trades that we do every single week in our live trading room that he has chosen to focus on. One is the IWM Millionaire Maker. This is what we call this trade, is the IWM Millionaire Maker trade. And it is a very straightforward trade. It is a weekly credit strangle that we put on the IWM. We put it on a Monday, we take it off on a Friday, and its intent and goal is to make a whopping 1% a week. A whopping 1% a week. This trade was very poorly received in our trading room when we initially rolled it out, because people would say, well, you know, we're making 10% a day in our 0 DTE trades. Why on earth would I take some of my precious capital that I can make 10% a day on and allocate it to something that can only make 1% a week? Well, it's the consistency of this. We have never, ever, one single solitary time had a losing trade with this particular setup, this particular strategy. And so this is the IWM Millionaire Maker trade. The other one that he has combined with this is probably our most popular trade in the trading room, and that's our Theta Ferry trade. And the Theta Ferry trade is a overnight trade. So if you talk about the power of compounding, how would you like to do a trade that you don't need any extra money to go do? You already have the buying power. This is an overnight trade. This is a trade that you are utilizing your existing capital. The market's closed. You're not trading anymore. Your capital is just sitting there dormant in your trading account. We're going to put that to use overnight. So we're going to double dip a little bit. We're going to put your capital to work twice in a day instead of just once in a day. And the whole entire goal of the Theta Ferry trade, we call it the Theta Ferry because just like the Tooth Fairy, the Theta Ferry should drop some money under your pillow every day when you wake up. But in the case of the Theta Ferry, it's about $100 a day that we bring in on this trade. And it's been incredibly successful for us. It's been incredibly profitable for us. If you don't fully understand our IWM Millionaire Maker trade, or you don't understand our Theta Ferry trade, I'll drop some links in the description box below to the training videos on those two particular strategies. But nevertheless, they're very powerful. And both of them, again, are purposely designed to make a very small amount of money. We could build the Theta Ferry, or excuse me, we could build the IWM Millionaire Maker trade to easily bring in close to 4% a week. That's a possibility with this trade. We purposely lower it to 1%. We could easily, I was going to say we could easily build the Theta Ferry trade to bring in more. We already do. This Theta Ferry trade that we build overnight has the potential on a typical overnight scenario to bring in $500 to $600 of income. We never go beyond capturing $100 of that. We leave $400, $500 on the table every single day in this trade because we want the consistency of the trade. So if you're not familiar with the IWM Millionaire Maker trade or the Theta Ferry trade, I'll drop a link in the description box below. So here are the numbers that we're looking at here. This is on the IWM Millionaire Maker trade. So some of the numbers that we're looking at here, again, this is a compound interest calculator, and it's saying if you started with an initial amount of $12,000, so one contract on the IWM Millionaire Maker setup or strategy is right around $3,000. Sometimes it's a little bit more, sometimes it's a little bit less, but you could do 4 contracts with about $12,000 of capital. And it's assuming that we're going to compound this monthly. We're not adding any extra money into the trade. And we are going to not take a hypothetical rate of return. We're not going to do any back testing. We're not going to build any spreadsheets and do any assumptions or hypotheticals. We're going to take our actual rate of return. This is the rate of return that we are on track to make this year. We've got about 1 month left to go in the year, and we're up about 46% right now year to date. We're on track to make a 50% return this year in this account. Okay, what would the numbers be with $12,000 over? Again, in this case, in this scenario, we're looking at 9 years. 9 years is what we're looking at. Okay, so over 9 years, this particular trade itself, just by itself, could bring in almost $1 million. And so that's why it got the nickname the Millionaire Maker, because just this trade alone could drop $1 million, has the potential to drop $1 million into your account over a 9-year period of time. Well, what this particular member, and a lot of our members, by the way, I'm just using the example from one of our members, but we have a lot of members doing this, is they have taken this particular strategy and they have combined it with the Theta Fairy trade. Okay, so again, the Theta Fairy trade has some very, very appealing aspects to it. If you're not familiar with it, once again, I'll drop some links in the description box. But the Theta Fairy trade is wonderful because it brings in a consistent $100 a day, incredible consistency on this trade. You build a good trade when all of the members of the trading room wake up on a particular day and go, hey, where's my $100 to start the day off? I'm supposed to get $100 every single day. Where is it? Because that's how high of a consistency this trade is. When it doesn't show up immediately in the morning when we're starting our day, everybody's like, well, what happened? Just almost like it's a perfunctory, yeah, give me my $100 every single day. It has very, very low drawdowns. It is a very flexible trade to adjust should we need to adjust it. And the big thing is you're double dipping. You're making money while you sleep. This is a trade that is working overnight in the futures market. Okay, so he's taken those two trades and he has combined them. Now, so again, he's taking a one contract position on the IWM, on the Millionaire Maker. He's taking one contract position, so that's about $3,000. Okay, one contract, $3,000, and then he's doing the Theta Fairy trade, which is about $12,000 of capital committed overnight. So it seems like $12,000 is a lot of money. Remember, this isn't extra money you have to come up with. It's probably already in your trading account, and it's just not being used because the markets are closed. We're utilizing it. We're double dipping with that money overnight. So he's taking both of those trades, he's combining them, and putting about $15,000 to work in this trade. These are his actual results over the last couple of months, and we'll get into some of the numbers here in just a second. But it is an effective annual interest rate of 137%. Now, what does that mean? Well, what it means is that if you could generate that every year, and again, we know that that's not going to happen. We know that your returns are going to be better or worse, but we have to do something in terms of making assumptions and not doing back testing, not building spreadsheets, not doing hypotheticals, but looking at actual real world results. I think that's as accurate as you can get. So this trade right here is generating an effective, those two combined, about 137% a year rate of return. $15,000 over that time frame would turn into about $1.1 million in, we're talking 5 years. 5 years is how long that would take. Now, the thing that I would say is, number one, what are the probabilities of this happening in the next 5 years? Well, I have to always give the disclosure that there's no guarantees. We don't know. But I will say that, number one, again, there's a high level of consistency with this trade. We are all scratching our heads. We are all wondering what's happened when this trade doesn't work, because that's the level of consistency that we have with it. And it is the consistency. It is the consistency of these trades, not the dollar amounts, that ends up making the money for us. And so I think that there's a high level, number one, there's a high level of consistency, a high level of probability that this could work out for us. Number two, the thing I would say, well, 5 years, geez, I don't want to wait 5 years to put $1 million in my pocket. Neither do I. But you know what? It's the way it works. And we don't have get-rich-quick schemes here. It does take work. It does take effort. It does take time. And I guess the thing I'd say is that the next 5 years, man, they're going to come and go, whether you're doing this or not, right? Why not do it? Why not commit to it? So that's the idea of this trade. Again, our actual numbers, as you look at this trade for this year, our Millionaire Maker trade, we've done 43 total trades this year. Every single one of them has made money. Knock on wood. We're going to have losses in this. There is no, I've been at this since 1987. So I've been doing this a while. And I've never seen a system that doesn't incur losses. That's not how the market works. I mean, if that's your goal, is to never have a loss, I've got a guaranteed system. Go stick your money in an FDIC insured bank account, but good luck making any money with it. So we know that there will probably be losses along the way. That's not really the point here. The point is the consistency. It is the consistency that is making the money here because it allows us to compound our results. But we haven't had, knock on wood, we haven't had a single losing trade all year on our Millionaire Maker. We're on track for a 50% APR for the year on this trade. That's enough, guys. That's enough. If you're like, well, 50% a year isn't enough, it's enough. Okay, it's enough. Our Theta Ferry trade, we've been doing this for several years, but I've been doing it in my larger trading account that was not a part of our live trading room. So we officially brought this trade in to our live trading room here just a short few months ago. We don't quite take it every single day. We get 5 shots a week at it. We don't do it on Fridays because the risk-reward ratio over the extended weekend is not good enough for us. But we do dip into it and get started on the futures market on Sunday evenings. So Sunday through Thursday, we've got a shot at this. So we do have a shot of doing this 20 times a month. Probably in a normal month, we will do it maybe 16 of the 20 times. There's going to be probably at least one day a week, whether it is non-farm payrolls, producer price index, jobless claims, FOMC. There's going to be some news catalyst or some situation that sort of dictates that would not be a good overnight trade to take. But other than that, we look to take this trade every single day, save for Friday trading sessions. So over the last 54 trades that we've done here in this setup, 53 have been winners. 1 has been a loser. So our average dollar profit is about 105. That's our average. I'm sorry for my horrible handwriting. Our average profit. Okay. About $105 is our average profit. Our stop loss on this trade right here is $300. $300 stop loss. And that's what we took on that one loss. So it really is a nice risk-reward ratio. It just takes 3 winning trades to get back above break-even on that one loss. It's been an absolute winner for us. Super, super, super powerful trade. Probably our most powerful one in the trading room. So that's our quick overview. And I just wanted to share that with you because, I don't know what your investment goals are. I don't know what your money goals are. I don't know why you're trading. Are you trading just for fun? Are you trading for extra income? Are you trading to take care of your family? Are you trading to become financially independent? Are you trading to try to get out of a day job? I don't know what your goals are, but I think we should all ask ourselves a question. What is your personal confidence level in your current trading style, setup, and approach of putting $1 million in your pocket in the next 5 years? Is it something where you're really clicking along right now and you're like, yeah, in fact, I'm better than that. I'm on a track that's going to give me $10 million. Then that's awesome. That's fantastic. But I think a lot of us would probably look and say, I'm still hunting and pecking around. I'm still trying to find my way. I'm not necessarily thrilled with my results. And maybe you need a different approach. And if that's you, if you fall into that category, I would encourage you to come hang out with us in our live trading room for a week for free. It's not passive. You and I will have a one-on-one Zoom session. We'll have a strategy conversation. We'll talk about where you've been with your trading, what your current issues and hurdles are. You and I will have a one-on-one strategy session. There's no cost for that session. You'll be able to spend a week in our trading room and interact. You're not passively sitting in there watching. You can comment, you can ask questions, you can interact with our hundreds and hundreds of members that are in there right now. Ask your questions. Ask them when you're in there if this is not the most amazing trading room they've ever found. Ask them. And you can get their input. But if you want to come try it out, you can do that at this website right here. Click on try0dteforfree.com. We'll give you 7 days free access. I hope that's been helpful for you guys. I hope that you're having success with your trading. If you are having challenges or issues, drop a comment in the comment section below. I'd like to know what kind of challenges you guys are dealing with, and I hope we can all get to the success level that we're hoping for. So take care, and hopefully I'll see you all in the trading room soon.